Hey guys, so this is my presentation or PSA on the topic of antibiotic resistance in bacteria. So antibiotic resistance is when a bacteria mends up. Hold on, let me get the right slide. So antibiotic resistance is when a bacteria mends up and takes on the meds without a care, which scientifically means the bacteria is now resistant to that medication and the antibiotic will no longer work. This is really bad because antibiotics are the mainstream treatment, and if all the bacteria become immune to antibiotics or become really resistant, we'll see a lot more dead people like this guy. So how did bacteria become resistant, some may say? To help understand, I've created some visuals and some explanations. So the first reason is because freaking Dr. Mario or other doctors are overprescribing antibiotics. So first, to combat this, you should never take antibiotics for something that is not bacterial, so like a seasonal stuffy nose or a viral infection, because antibiotics don't kill viruses. These antibiotics can cause beneficial bacteria to die and give rise to bad bacteria. Only use antibiotics when absolutely necessary, and don't misuse them. Now, on the topic of misuse, here's my source, by the way. On the topic of misuse, second cause of antibiotic resistance is misusing the freaking antibiotic. Antibiotics work by killing most bacteria and hopefully all the bad ones, but skipping doses often or stopping treatment early or yada yada can cause freaking bacteria to start developing. Here's my source. So here's what happens to the bacteria when you take antibiotics. When you're using the drug as prescribed, so like you're supposed to take it for 3 days, for example. So as you can see, this is the good guys. We got Peter Griffin, we got DJ Galahad, we have this cute emoticon. On the bad bacteria side, we have P. Diddy, we have Dr. Doofenshmirtz. You take the antibiotic, it kills some of the bacteria, but notice how it doesn't kill all of them on the first dose. Okay, day 2, as you can see. So, some bacteria, they take more doses to be killed. So, for example, with the emoticon, it died on day 1, but Peter Griffin took 2 days to die. Final dose. And make sure that you complete your medication always, or else P. Diddy will remain alive, for example. See, now all of them are dead, so this is one of the best case scenarios when using antibiotics. So here's what happens if you misuse them. So you take the pill once, Dr. Doofenshmirtz dies, Emojicon dies. Day 2, you don't take the antibiotic, and that gives time for P. Diddy to become resistant. Oh no, how terrible. And now P. Diddy is thriving. He is reproducing like nobody's business. Oh my gosh. And yeah, as you can see, now you feel very sick by now. He's still thriving. And now you're using that medication, but no use because P. Diddy is resistant now. That's light work. And yeah, as you can see, we have Markiplier here. He's telling you not to do this or else you'll end up like him. So yeah. If you don't understand what happened, pause here. The main point is to use your antibiotics as instructed. Never misuse them, okay? Please. Here's my graph, my tree graph. You can pause pause and take a look at it. And the third reason for why antibiotic resistance is developing is because we're overusing them in our food. So as you can see, we got a bunch of chickens here, and typically, as you can see, this environment, if one single bacteria gets in this, it's infecting everything. So to prevent this, workers insert copious amounts of antibiotics to kill all of them, But the bacteria, they're living, so they can adapt, they can evolve. So yeah, here's my source. And now let's look at natural selection, or otherwise known as evolution. So what is evolution? We got Mr. White over here to help us explain. So evolution is the population going through a collection of genetic changes over time, and it doesn't happen to individuals, and it only happens gradually within populations. The four factors of natural selection. I'm not going to read all of that. You can pause to see for yourself, but the four factors are genetic variation, competition, non-random mating, and survival of the fittest. So the two most relevant factors are probably competition and survival of the fittest. The bacteria's concern, bacteria don't really choose mates, so non-random mating isn't really that relevant. And competition and survival of the fittest is really relevant to bacteria, because bacteria, they do actually compete for resources and space. And survival of the fittest, this is antibiotics. So antibiotics are the driving force for bacteria to only have the fittest to survive. If you're not resistant to the antibiotic, you die. So here are some solutions to antibiotic resistance. So some preventative solutions include reduce the misuse or overuse of antibiotics, educating the proper use of antibiotics, and making sure that you actually use them properly, because all this information is pretty much useless if you don't actually put it into practice. So yeah. So here are the solutions for the future. We can get the government to intervene and control the use of antibiotics, and we can also investigate alternatives. Now, Kurt Fusart did a very cool video on a potential alternative to antibiotics. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.